Revelations chapter 9, verse 7. If you have your Bibles, go ahead and get those out. We'll be breaking this verse down by phrases. If you have your Bibles, it will be easier for you to keep up. Revelations chapter 9, verse 7 reads, "And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses, prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men." The phrase, "and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses, prepared unto battle," lets us know that these things are not locusts as we think of such, but rather demon spirits, which had the appearance of locusts, at least after a fashion. If locusts are used as a comparison, this must as well mean that these creatures are very small. Irrespective, their smallness doesn't diminish their capability for inflicting pain. The phrase, "and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold." So we started out, "and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold," reflects them being more powerful than normal. I think this would be obvious in so much as they have been locked up for possibly thousands of years. The phrase, "and their faces were as the faces of men." So we started out, "and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses, prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men," gives them an appearance that is similar to human. These seem very strange, but yet they do not seem any stranger than the living ones around the throne of God described in chapter 4. Is it possible that the entirety of this particular type of creation threw in their lot with Lucifer at the time of his rebellion? We do know that God did not originally make them evil, because God creates nothing in this fashion. They became this way at a point in time which had to be at the rebellion of Lucifer as well, due to being locked up these many thousands of years as they were in the bottomless pit. This portrays the fact that they committed some type of sin that was even worse than was committed by some of the other angels, etc. In fact, we know that this did happen with some of the angel creation. Peter tells us that after Jesus died on the cross and immediately preceding his resurrection, he went and preached unto the spirits in prison. 1 Peter 3:19. Every indication is that these particular spirits were fallen angels, and more than likely those who had committed the sin of cohabiting with women, attempting to bring a race of giants into the world, which would be somewhat angel and somewhat human, which would destroy the human race and therefore prevent the incarnation of Christ, which must be through pure human lineage. And that concludes Revelations chapter 9, verse 7.